Hey guys, my name's Aaron, and I am with CPTV here, casting the Rio qualifiers for the quarterfinals. I was given bad information for the last game. This is actually not the quarterfinal, or the previous game was not the quarterfinals. It's this one. Pistol round is underway here, and it's off to a very close round for both teams. A 1 versus 1. Skylotto finds himself in. However, he's very low. Disc is going to pick up that kill without too much of a problem, and the Catmen are going to secure their first round. I'm going to call them Cat for the rest of the game. So, yeah, the first round is done, and Sky find themselves in a full eco. As I say that, they decide they're going to go ahead and force. So, not exactly the best prediction on my part, but that's fine. I like to see force rounds, so we're in it. I know I didn't mention it. This is Mirage. I don't know if we have any viewers listening or listeners out there who might not be viewing, but it's Mirage, and we see Skylotto opting to play B with his best friend and companion, Gumpton, over here on this bomb site. Affinity's smoked off in mid-window. There's currently a boost. They see each other at the same time, but Spiked is going to go ahead and take that kill, say thank you for that money, Mr. Mac 10. Followed up with a kill from Disc himself with that AK. And nothing too special coming out here in this force round. I would have liked to see more. That Scout not putting in any work because, unfortunately, despite the players going A, he gave up the bomb site. And he did manage to find one in the nest, but before you can blink, he finds himself in a 1v4. All alone in a big, scary server. He grabs a Mac 10. Manages to get through that window somehow without getting killed. Hits the jump to Cat, but ultimately, none of it's going to matter because he nets himself a kill, but maybe if he's lucky, he can save a Mac 10. It looks like the T's aren't in too much of a hurry to chase him. So, a bit of nice movement mechanics coming out from him and a bit of luck, and Leaky is going to be rewarded with that Mac 10. However, that's not going to be very useful in the next round. It could be, I suppose, but signs point to no on that one. So, I'm guessing that this team, Catman, is also an underdog against Skyfire, but I'm not particularly sure of that. This is not the first time the Skyfire started out behind, though. So, we're looking at probably a 3-0 scoreline here for Catman as they get a nice little comfy boost coming off of that pistol. But it's important to remember that that really doesn't mean much. You know, one gun round going the way of Skyfire, maybe two, and that could turn around. That being said, it is a stack at the bomb site, so things could get interesting. That Mac 10 is going to find a kill while the USP chimes in to finish off a second. Unfortunately for Skyfire, that's all they're going to get as the rest of the players fall, and Catman manages to close that round out without too much trouble. Might have got a little bit sweaty there in the beginning, but ultimately, that was a convincing B-side take. Nothing too concerning there. I believe we see a Geralt of Rivia profile picture coming in for Spikes. That's kind of cool to see. I'm always a fan of The Witcher. That looks like the TV or Netflix version. I never actually watched that. I only played the game. But quick aside, we're going back to the CSGO game that we're playing right now. Affinity has pulled out that trademark op that we love to see from him so much. And other than that, it's 4 standard M4A4s. Nothing too special here. Gumpton's pushed up pretty aggressively on Cat, but he's quick to fall back to support his teammate here. There is an underpass creep coming in here from Kibstar and Spikes. They're looking, trying to hopefully get in a position for something. Maybe trying to get some nade damage in that connector, but they're not going to find anything. Those players are cleared out. I like this positioning from MT. Look at where he is. He's pushed all the way up into A ramp. This is so huge if the T's decide to split and go A, which it looks like they might based on that player in Palace. Now, MT is pushing for info. This could be misleading. I think he should have stayed at A ramp. Depending on how long this round goes, this might net a kill, but I'm guessing the terrorists are going to move too quick for this to be very effective. That being said, those 4 players grouped up towards connector are beginning to take a lead. They're beginning to take that. And it is slow. It is very slow. MT creeping up behind all of these players. Surely he's going to catch them by surprise. Manages to find one. His teammate chimes in. Gumpton gets traded back, but it's ultimately a 4v3 right now as the terrorists desperately try to claw their way into this A-bomb site. They continue getting torn apart. Affinity chiming in with that op, and Leaky having a bit of an optimistic peek there with a grenade in his hand. You hate to see that, but Spikes having his own optimistic weapon pickup there, chiming back in with his own downfall. And ultimately, Skyfire are going to find their first gun round and their first round of the game. The catman did manage to find themselves a bomb plant, which means they're going to have plenty of money. Kibstar is pretty poor, but he can get dropped a gun, no problem. Spikes, I'm sure, is going to do that. Yep, you see that coming in now. And we see 2 SGs and 3 AKs coming in for the Ts. Meanwhile, the CTs managed to keep quite a few alive that round, and they're going to have a very healthy buy with some money building up in the bank for a few of their players. Now, this is the real important round. If they can hold this round and keep a few players alive, that's where the CT economy is going to start looking thick and juicy. So, how this round plays out remains to be seen, but we see the Ts playing out very similar to how they did earlier with creeping through underpass, taking that underpass control, spreading out top mid. I'm getting the impression that they're very fond of their mid control. They didn't really leave any lurkers to either side of the map. We see their underpass player working back up towards apps, where he might eventually find Gumpton. However, that's not what's going to happen right now, because Snow is going to chime in with his own frag in mid, taking out that window player. And now the Ts have some breathing room. It can feel a little bit claustrophobic when all you have is that mid control. You don't have any control towards apps. But they managed to find it. They managed to find a kill on the cat player. And Lotto is holding B by himself with that op. We see them running a double op step. Now, I should have commented on that sooner. I apologize. Lotto and MT, both with their ops after Affinity, managed to, unfortunately, find himself among the deceased. So a late smoke comes in from Lotto. It's not going to matter. Those Ts want this bomb site, and they want it now. And you can hear Lotto might be a little upset there. A little depressed, disappointed that he just got rushed down by a pack of wolves. But at the end of the day, sometimes that's how this game works. And Leaky is going to be running with his tail between his legs, trying to salvage his grenades, his kit, his AK, whatever he can into this next round, because that economy is in deep, deep trouble. It looks like he's going to be able to salvage this. These Ts are not in a hurry to risk their own necks for this counter-terrorist. They're going to go ahead and be perfectly happy to run away with their guns because their economy is not great either. And Skyfire might look to force into this round. Leaky could drop a gun over. We could see probably 3 rifles and a couple of SMGs, but that would be a scrappy buy. If I was them, I'd probably half buy and just take the probable loss in this round. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. You see the Deagle, the CZ, and it probably gives them a 20% chance of picking this round up. And that 20%, it's not nothing. You know, Leaky could do something with that AK. You know, there could be a couple nice Deag shots, maybe a sneaky play, you know, under Palace doesn't get cleared or something. You never know. Stuff will happen. But it... Ooh, as I say that, the CTs, you know, I have seen too many team kills come in from Skyfire. I think they need to work on their positioning because that shouldn't really happen. It's a tough angle, you don't really expect it, but unfortunately, you know, Affinity is going to be able to collect this AK. And this is one of the more capable players I've seen from Skyfire. I'm not sure how good his rifling is, so it'll be interesting to see if he can pull off some nice shots with this thing. Maybe pull off a nice comeback into this round, or at the very least, save that gun. Oh. The smoke pops on Cat just as Affinity peeks. He could have got that timing if he peeked sooner. And his teammates are dead. Those T's have swarmed that B bomb site, and it's over. Affinity is here. He's ready. What? He's ready to save this AK. And we're going to be moving it to round number 7 here. I'm seeing echoes from the last game right now. Skyfire find themselves down 1-5. It's not 0-5, but it is 1-5. Infinity is putting himself in a position to get knifed, and it happened. Spikes got himself a cheeky little knife kill, and that's going to hurt Affinity. Not so much in terms of economy, because they did have money to buy, but certainly in his pride. And also in my pride as a caster a little bit, because I spent so much time talking about the next rounds that I didn't even notice it until it almost was too late. So, I can't bash Affinity too much for that. He did his best to save that AK, but in the end it wasn't meant to be. Now this is going to be the round that dictates whether Catman can really begin to run away with this game. So, Lotto takes a lot of nade damage mid, but the CTs do have control of top mid, which is, as I say that, Lotto becomes perilously close to getting killed through that smoke. He does manage to escape with his life, back up Cat, but that's a lot of info. Like, the T creeping down underpass, I'm not sure who that is, did manage to hear that. It looks like it's going to be Kibstar. So, you know, info that a player is on Cat is not going to be too helpful. You know, it's pretty easy to guess, but it's better than nothing. And that flash coming in means he knows there's a player connector as well. That means window's probably open unless the Cat player comes through ladder room, which he is doing. So, it'll be interesting to see if anything can happen here. Leaky and Lotto do have themselves a nice little setup here. Spikes is creeping up Cat. Does he check this? He's got no idea. He didn't check it at all. That's a little surprising to me. I would have expected him to check that. Why would he expect that to be clear? I don't know, but it's going to give a Skyfire a nice opening into this round as they find themselves in a 5v1. Snow is the last alive, and he's going to be made short work of as MTLW picks up a nice little double. Sky chimes in with his own triple kill, and that's it for that round. We see, of course, a full buy coming in here from Catman. They're not sweating, you know. They had a nice economy built up. They won a lot of rounds in a row, but it is starting to look a little bit more shallow. You see a few players on $0 left after that investment. We do see an op coming in for Panic. So it took me a sec to read that name there, and we'll see if he'll be able to do something with it. I would expect him to maybe take that mid, but he's quite the opposite. It looks like he is starting to move towards A ramp. Ooh. Okay, we're going to move off of that because those are some inappropriate names of those skins, and I'm not exactly sure what the rating of this channel is. Okay. So, these terrorists are creeping down underpass here and looking to do what looks to be an A-split, although it's probably going to happen a little bit later in the round here, as the bomb still has to be collected from T-spawn and brought over. Looks like Kibstar is going to be in charge of doing that. It's kind of lonely over there on the B bomb site as they are leaving their lurker Affinity to sit there and hold the bomb site. I said lurker, I meant anchor. As these T's move in to A couple of trades come in here. Panic manages to take out Skylotto with that op, but Leaky gets mollied, manages to escape it. I don't know if they heard him. It looks like they did hear him, but a team flash coming in from Sky Gumpton, flashing both of the remaining T's. Very well played from Skyfire. I gotta say that I thought they were in trouble there. Some good teamwork, some good positioning. I'm sure some good calls and utility usage, and they managed to secure that A-hold without too much of a problem. And now the Catmen are going to save. We got some Deagles coming in here. Snowball down to 1,400. That's pretty low. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or if that's calculated. I'm going to assume is calculated. Affinity gets a kill in mid, but finds himself very low. I'd say he has to be careful of nades, but luckily for him, the T's don't have any. There is a bit of a back and forth coming in here from mid. Ultimately, it favors the CTs, though. MT and Leaky do go down, but it shouldn't make too much of a difference as Lotto manages to clean up the round. Gumpton is going to try to find a real gun to upgrade to, but unfortunately for him, they were a little too far away. He's going to have to either sell that He's either going to have to upgrade that MP9 or just try to make do with it. And it looks like he's opting to save that money and make do with it. That's probably what I would do. Not necessarily the smartest decision, if I'm being honest. I'm just looking at the money. They have so much money on the CT side built up right now that it might be worth getting that rifle. But looks like Gumpton is going to play in a very close-up position, apps or somewhere in sight here at B. Meanwhile, the T's are ready to explode out A. Affinity chimes in with 2 off kills, and Leaky chimes in with 2 of his own. MT gets a single kill, and that was a very lackluster A take coming in from Catman 2.0. That looked flat. That looked like how I would imagine a save round would go. Except they had full guns, and now we see them again whipping out those deagles. Maybe they can make something work, but this game is echoing last game, that Inferno game, so closely. It's mirroring that game. Skyfire was down 0-5 that game, 1-5 this one, is managing to bring it back in a tie. They're all tied up 5-5. So now, what remains to be seen is will the mirror continue? That would be pretty crazy. I can't imagine it continuing much longer, but you never know. The T's are grouped up towards this B bomb site. They're not committing yet with the bomb still in the back of apps, but if they did commit, they would find themselves a tough bomb site to take with 2 CTs now waiting and 1 more on a quick rotate. Leaky is pushed up pretty far in connector. Affinity is wallbanging. That was cool. Snow gets wallbanged a little bit in that underpass position, has to drop back, and Leaky hears that, so that's good information. All the T's are exploding out now. The CTs are doing their damnedest to hold the bomb site, but damn, that's not good. Excuse me, I probably shouldn't be swearing. The site did go down, and Catman, again, very convincing kills on their eco round. A round that you would expect them to lose handily. They managed to make competitive and probably win this round. They managed to recover 2 guns, and the CTs are opting to save. Look at that. Affinity still looking around, trying to get a kill, but it's not going to happen. They said, you know what, guys? Catman can have this round. That's okay. We got the AWP, we got the M4, and we got money in the bank to play with. We don't need to throw our money away. Let's just play smart, play conservatively, and maybe get a few exit frags. But looks like they're going to be denied that as well because Affinity missed his shot, which, to be fair to him, was a hard shot to hit. But oh, okay. All right. I can swear as much as I bloody well please, but I'm still gonna keep it fairly tempered. There's no reason to swear all the time. We find ourselves in the 12th round of this game. Affinity, look at that bank. Even though they lost, they saved those guns over. Affinity's got 7,500. A few of the players are pretty low on money, so that 7,500 is a little misleading. But they should have not too much of a problem getting out another buy, even if they lose this round. That being said, Lotto chiming in with that brutal double op setup is going to find Disc in those B apartments. And the terrorists are feeling a bit constricted now. They gave up that map presence towards A. For all they know, the CTs could be pushing A ramp, pushing pallets, getting that information. They're going to feel pressured to make a decision. And that op in B just keeps chiming in. And he might have seen the bomb. I don't know for sure. If that player was wearing it, it could have dropped down into the underpass. Sure, the T's can collect it back, but man, what a tough spot to be in. I do not envy these players who have to try to make something out of this round. And look at their money. It's desperate. They got 2 players with 4,000, but after that, it's scraps. And look at how well defended this B bomb site is. These CTs are ready and waiting, and Gumpton is going to pick up an easy frag. Lotto chimes in with his third of the round. Got some tilt coming in from the players in Catman. Understandable, it's part of the game, but we hope that they can get that under control and temper themselves, because they've got a long game left to play. At least, hopefully it's long. It could be short. Lotto, it's just fish in a barrel for him over there in the B apartments. Makes it look easy. Interesting to see the variety we have. I just want to take a moment to note. I might wait for this, because it looks like the T's are going to explode out through this A ramp any second here. So I will hold that thought. And they are a single solitary flash, one smoke, and they are exploding. Managed to find a kill. Kipstar chiming in with one. A trade coming back through that connector jungle smoke there. And the bomb will go down, but still, they've only collected 0 guns, and a retake looks like all but a sure thing from Skyfire. They have utility to flush out these T's, superior firepower, and that being said, they are struggling to get into this bomb site. Panic finds a nice deagle headshot. Gumpton trades 2 back, though, and it's all on disc, as he has to kill the bomb diffuser. Oh, that's a blunder. Affinity misses him. Oh, no. Catman is going to win this round. That is such a... Affinity gets the kill, but he's got to run away. That is a unfortunate round for Skyfire to have to lose, but that happens. The T's are up around now. They take the lead in the game, but the pressure still feels like it's on them. Skyfire's bank is still enormous. They managed to full buy up everything, and Affinity is still sitting on $7,000. You know, you wouldn't expect the team opera to be the wealthy one, but there it is. And yeah, so what I was going to say earlier is that it's interesting to note, as I cycle through these CTs, how well-rounded they are as a team. You see, we were talking about the star player before being Affinity, but he doesn't need to be the star player. Skylotto, MK, Leaky is just running in, wrecking people. He's got 16 kills in 14 rounds. He's come to work this game, and it's nice to see that all these players can step up when they need to and make things happen. Lotto getting aggressive in apps. He's trying to push that information, and he's going to get it too. There's no one here. He's pushed all the way into kitchen. If I was him, I'd stop right here. This is a great spot to catch a terrorist by surprise, catch multiple terrorists by surprise in a late rotate back to B. But I might change my mind after that pick on A. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Leaky attempts to trade back his fallen comrade and is rewarded with a bullet in the temple. Panic chimes in with an op kill on the catwalk player. Affinity, fully blind, takes a desperate shot in the dark. Or shot in the bright, rather. But it's going to amount to nothing. And Catman took a very convincing round win there. Now, Skyfire are in an interesting position. Affinity is going to go ahead and drop an M4 to his teammate. It looks like they are going to force into this round. Match pause to discuss strat, I'm guessing, how they want to play this force buy. But they did agree to a force, so they can't go back on that. I'm going to get that call right at least. The Catmen over here suddenly find themselves in a pretty good position. After what looked like a struggling T side, they managed to scrape together a few convincing rounds, and they've got themselves an 8-6 half, staring at a possible 9-6. So, see that equipment value vastly favors the T's there. Doesn't mean too much ultimately. There are two rifles and an op coming in for the CTs, and those CZs can be devastating at the appropriate angles. So, we'll see if Lotto can get a cheeky trade kill in here for himself. That's a nice shot coming in mid. However, the CTs lost A in the time it took me to blink. And although Affinity could very well find... Oh, he's going to be heard. Yeah, they heard each other for sure. Affinity has got himself the bomb, but he doesn't yet realize it. If he kills this player here, which is Spikes, he could potentially win himself this round. However, T's are going to take their time. Spikes was not in a rush to peek. All he has to do is hold. There's a minute left in the clock, and that's hold he was going to do. And it was a pretty easy kill for him. That's the end of the half. Catman take it 9-6, excuse me, and Skyfire find themselves once again in a position where they need to try to find a way to get some pressure off of them. They're down 9-6. We'll see if they can do that with the pistol round. The second half of this game should be getting underway fairly soon. But while we're there, while we're waiting, yeah, we can talk about the T's a little bit. I kind of like what I've been seeing from Catman. They've been playing very well in a few aspects of the game. I think they have been using utility as well as I wish they could. Skyfire have been using utility very well, but
thank you, Ranjit. Shit.
Do see a bit of communication coming in from Skyfire as they decide what they're going to do in this pistol round. We see 2 players with nades and 3 players with armor, and 4 players with armor on the CT side. Looks like a run boost is going to come in, possibly top mid, although maybe that isn't what's happening. It's hard to tell. Let me get over there. Yeah, they're just holding the angles. These T's are definitely pushed in towards that B bomb site. They're holding for aggression, thinking maybe they can get a cheeky little goosh on somebody here. Mauling out that snipers. This is a mid to B or mid/B take, and that cat player is blind. Affinity takes him down with 1 quick shot to the head, and this B take is on. These T's are swarming, and the tilt is flowing as the CTs are desperately trying to stay in this round, but it's not going to happen. 4 versus 1, and Kibstar is in trouble. He's got big shoes to fill here as he is praying one of these T's peeks him and gives him a free kill. But it's not going to happen. Gumpton and Lotto are both sitting strong. They jiggle peek the angle, but just at bad timing for Kibstar. And MT is going to chime in and just close that out. And before you can blink, Skyfire could very easily find themselves in a tied game. This is interesting. It looks like the CTs are going to be doing a full save here. And we can contrast that with the force buy we saw coming in from the CTs at the beginning of this game when Skyfire were in that seat. But looks like MT is going to be looking for some farm with that MAC-10. We do see a couple Galeals, not quite enough money to get that preferred AK, but since that buff, the Galil is going to be putting in a lot of work anyway. Kibstar trying to find the head. He's not quite going to be able to connect here as Affinity enters into the A-bomb site. Skylotto did get killed, but that shouldn't mean too much. Unless Panic can win this 1v4 that he finds himself in after a few quick seconds. It's not going to happen. He is just praying to save this gun at this point. Not meant to be after a few unfortunate tags through the smoke. He gets his bell rung, and it's all over for him. Saving the AK wasn't that important because the CTs do have a decent amount of money. You're going to see 5 M4s coming in. Maybe not as much utility as they'd like. They do manage to get 4 smokes, but only 1 molly, 1 flashbang. So very limited utility coming in from the CT side. And utility is something that is exceptionally important on Mirage. So we'll see if that has a big impact in this round. The T's are not wasting any time. They're out. They're here. They're ready to rumble. And my GOTV is lagging. All right, we're caught up a little bit here. And Lotto is trying to take control of this bomb site, trying to protect that bomb pointer, manages to get the AK upgrade, and it's a 4v4 retake here for the CTs. They may opt to save this with their lack of utility. They did manage to still have some smokes left over. They might go for this. We do see 1 player, 1 T on the long flank as his teammates desperately try to defend this bomb site. Leaky is coming in connector here, but is it going to be soon enough? His teammates are starting to fall in that site. He needs to move. Oh. They're never going to expect it. He hits the spam shot. Oh, can he get the other player? He's not going to find it. Oh, they didn't have time. Oh. That was about as tense a round as you're going to find. Spikes manages to escape with his life, but the same can't be said for his teammates or the other team, as almost everybody falls. Skyfire is going to pick up that round and find themselves their 9th, tying this game up. Having everybody on their team die, however, means that that bye is going to be anything but perfect. And I understand the UMP. Okay, excuse me. I had a thought, but it kind of ran away from me. Catman Spikes is going to find himself desperately spraying, trying to make something connect, but it's not going to happen. As these T's don't even have the bomb, just taking their time. As this demo is giving me a headache. Okay. Yeah, this demo has been weird. It keeps coming and going. So this round got a little scrappy. Snow did find himself an AK, but ultimately it's not going to matter because Affinity, Leaky, and Gumpton have not too much trouble finishing out this round. And the CTs find themselves with another chance to pull this game back in their favor. Another gun round here. Pulling in an AWP, pulling in the armor. 3 of the players do not have head armor, but again, against 5 AKs, very rarely will that make a difference. Maybe a spam shot through a wall or something. Maybe a scenario that could be found where the helmet makes a difference, but unlikely to say the least. That would be an understatement. And flag is the name of the game here with this demo viewer, as I'm trying to get it to cooperate with me. The T's are taking their way through mid here. Some utility response from the CTs, but ultimately nothing's going to happen much there. And the CTs find themselves split. This is a dangerous situation. Coming from someone who's played Mirage before, having to give up mid. This stream is crashed, paused, or... Okay. So... looks like we did manage to get the GoTV back. Hopefully it will hang in there for us and figure its stuff out. Still getting some lag, but it looks like it's starting to smooth out. But as I was saying, my thought earlier, this is rough. See, these CTs feel pressured to find information. They're flashing into A-ramp. They want to know what's going on because without a mid player, they feel vulnerable. You know, they don't have a rotate coming in. And now look what happened. The T's blew onto the B bomb site, and those rotates are so far away that this round is just done. It's a 4v3, and a couple of the players are kind of low, sure, but the CTs have got no way back into this bomb site, and they're going to save. And that's fine with me because that gives me a chance to try to fix this lag that I'm getting. I don't think I can do anything about it, but... The players can't hear the lag, or can't see the lag, though. That's just on our end. Right? Yeah. Yeah, so the GoTV has been lagging a bit. That's not on our end, unfortunately. There's nothing we can do about that. But we'll do our best to keep you guys informed anyway on what's going on, and hopefully keep this cast going. Keep this thing rolling here, as Skyfire do manage to find their 10th round. Those 3 saved guns mean that this GoTV is giving us some trouble here. Those 3 saved guns do mean that Catman are not going to have much trouble buying back into this round. However, their money is getting scarce, and if they get fully wiped, that max loss bonus isn't going to help them too much. So the T's are wasting no time trying to take mid here, but Panic is got something to say about it. He's ready to repeat this. He's flashing his teammate in. Snow is cleaning up on Catwalk, and that was an exceptionally fast round. Some nice shots, some nice utility usage from Catman, and they made it look easy. Skyfire are not going to have any problem buying back into this round here. However, that money is getting a little low, and that loss bonus is basically non-existent. So if they lose this round, they might be in trouble. That being said, the round has just started, and time will tell. Oh, Panic misses a crucial shot, but it doesn't seem to matter. He gets away with it. He's not punished nearly as much as he should be. He is in a tough situation now, but his teammates are helping him. There is a kill coming in top mid, but this oh man, this fight's hard to cast because I don't know what's going on, but here's what I'm guessing. Okay, I'm guessing that the CTs managed to hold mid convincingly. Okay, so we've got a new Go TV. I think I'm going to be able to transition to that very soon here. We're going to take a quick 10-second break here at CappingTV, and we'll be back with you shortly. All right, guys. Sorry about that. We've got some technical difficulties here. Again, I want to stress that we're doing all we can. That's not on our end. That's the GeoTV viewer here having some issues. My name's Aaron, and I'm casting for GeoTV. I'm casting for CappingTV once again, and we are back in this game. Looks like not too much has happened while I was gone. Some back and forth round trading here. Catman and Skyfire find themselves each their 12th round, and oh god, the server is still having trouble here as we see Lotto potentially moonwalking his way to a double kill. Looks like it's actually Gumpton. Lotto got taken down. However, Kibstar is desperately holding himself in this site, and Spike's coming in to save the day with his rotate. Means Catman is going to find themselves their 13th round of this game. This is getting tense now. Skyfire are in a bit of a desperate situation. I don't really know what they're going to do here. I can only imagine they're going to save for the most part. But that hurts because this round number is getting pretty big here. Catmen are looking at their 14th as Skyfire take on a full save for a couple of deagles. And Panic is going to take one of those right away very quickly. Snow looking to take away a second, and one deagle left and a couple of Glocks are all that stand between Catman and their 14th round. Kibstar picks up an easy double with a nice little spray transfer. Did stop shooting for a little bit, but we'll call it a spray transfer. We'll give that to him. And Gumpton is all alone on this map, which has suddenly become very dark and very scary. Let's see if him and his stat track ironwork can put any good use into this round. I don't think so, though. The body of his fallen comrade lies lifelessly on the floor, and his joins it soon after. Now, this round could decide the game. Skyfire have got to win this round, or they're going to be, or at least get a bomb plant, or they're going to be broke and on match point. You see a pause coming in. I'm sure that's from Skyfire. They need to decide what they want to do and how they want to do it. So yeah, I can only imagine they're discussing strats. I suppose it could be a technical issue, but at this point in time, man, I love that color on that bayonet. However, I'm not a big fan of the name. Is what it is, though. Pyramid Doppler always looks nice. Got the magnesium. Always gotta love the normal knife, though. I mean, there's something special about it. There's something hipster about just whipping out that normal knife. All right. Sorry about that. We're getting started with this possibly second final round of this match here. I wouldn't want to get too ahead of myself, but Skyfire have got to win this round. This is a big one for them. And Gumpton is ready and going. They're not wasting any time. They blast onto this bomb site. Gumpton gets traded out, but ultimately the T's find themselves in a 4v3. Leaky on 16 health, but Lotto is going to find his own. The CT rotate is quick, but Skyfire seems ready for it. Although not ready for that push in front of the Molly. And Disc putting in some work, finds himself a 1 versus 2 here. He has a chance of winning this round, but only a chance. Somehow manages to find a jumping headshot there. You hate to see it, that accidental jump on the scroll wheel, most likely. However, it doesn't matter because Skyfire will trade that back and find themselves their 13th round. So now this is very dicey for both teams. Look at that lackluster buy coming in from Skyfire. 3 MAC-10s, and Catman do have a full buy here. 4 rifles and an op. However, their economy is in a really bad spot now. So if Skyfire wins, they're going to be broke. And if Catman wins, Skyfire's going to be broke. So this round could very well decide the game. And it's looking good for Skyfire as they explode onto that B-bomb site and find themselves 2 entry frags, a 3rd. There's 1 traded back, sure, but these CTs are already tucked and running with their guns in their hands, trying to save what little remains of their dignity and their firepower. I shouldn't say that. Both of these players have been playing fairly well so far, so much of their dignity may remain intact. Firepower, on the other hand, is still a different story. And the situation looks dire for Catman as Skyfire pick up their 14th round. This is neck and neck, and this is kind of cool. I like this. Snow can drop 1. Kibstar will probably drop another FAMAS. We'll probably see 2. So we'll probably see 4 rifles coming in for the CTs. They'll get a decent enough buy for this round, but then that save means that the dilemma I posed to you guys for last round extends into this round. If these guys lose this round, they are royally screwed. Not one of them. So one of them has got $2,000, and then other than that, Spikes has got 250, and that's the most out of the rest of them. This is shocking. Meanwhile, these terrorists are confident, cocky, however you want to describe it. They opted to hold on to 2 of their MAC-10s, and they are bursting onto this bomb site in much the same fashion as the last round. And they are getting not quite the same result. Shut down quickly and efficiently as somehow a few trades come through and this gets pulled back into a 2 versus 2. Gumpton is going to plant the bomb, and he will manage to get that bomb plant down as well. That being said, that grenade, I thought it might hurt, but it went a little bit too far. Oh, Gumpton nearly finds the head of that player, and that molly is going to be a problem for him. I take it back. He manages to... Okay. Well, that happened very quickly, but Gumpton and Affinity both chime in with some very nice headshots, and Catman may find themselves on the receiving end of a victory here, as Skyfire are very close to taking this map 16-14. You see a couple of SMGs and FAMAS and a scout come in, a very desperate buy for the CTs as they fight to stay into this match and force an overtime. The T's are not wasting any time, barely waiting for the smokes to pop, not even waiting for the smokes to pop as they barrel their way into this bomb site. Snow finds one, but that's all he's going to get, and these CTs are desperately rotating. No one's watching for the CT though, and a few quick kills put this in a 2 versus 2. A 1 versus 2 as that UMP puts in work, and it's all on Affinity now as he tries to close this out for his teammates. Oh, he misses what should have been a free kill, and I've casted 2 matches, and I'm 2 for 2 on overtimes because Catman managed to bring this back against odds. They had 2 SMGs and a scout against 5 fully armored, fully utilitied, fully weaponed out terrorists. So these guys had everything. They were ready to take it 16-14. But it was not meant to be. I think that was a miscommunication. They should have had someone watching CT. That should have never happened. Those terrorists should have killed them as soon as they peeked, and that should have been the end of it. But that didn't happen. The Catmen managed to find themselves their 15th round, and things... I was going to say things get interesting, but they've already been interesting for a while. So, we got ourselves, so far, quite the interesting Rio here. What else we got? We got a nice little dog. That is a disgusting profile picture. Sky again. See, I don't know if they're actually supposed to be like favored to win this match, but I just assume by the fact that they're more professional, they got like a genuine organization name and they've got genuine like pictures, that they're probably more legitimate and probably better, but that's not always the case. You know, some teams just don't really give a crap about that stuff. So unfortunately, I don't know enough about the teams right now to know which is supposed to be the underdog, how they've been playing previously or anything but like that. But regardless of how they've played in the past, they both must be playing pretty well to get to where they are now, which is the quarterfinals of this tournament. So hopefully I'm right about that this time, and the next game isn't the quarterfinals. I think I should be good on that, but this break is going to expire here, and said that I guess not. We're still in between regulation and overtime here as we wait for the ball to roll here. Some nice little practicing coming in with pistols. Some of these guys taking it seriously, some of them not so much. Getting some much needed water, a break, whatever they need, because this is it. They don't get a best of 3, they don't get a best of 5. One and done. So everything matters here. Regardless of who wins, they better leave it all out on the field. And I hope they will. So far they have. It's been cool to see. Yep, we're getting going here. This is overtime. So it's interesting to see. Yeah, I was just gonna say I want to see the CTs bring out that double op setup. It looks like they're gonna do it. I was wondering if Skyfire might opt for an op. Say that 4 times fast. But ultimately they decided not to, and whip out 4 AKs and an SG. We see some A smokes being lined up here as heavy T pressure towards that A side of the map. Although these CTs are not wasting any time, Disc is pushed up pretty far into this window room here, or ladder room, excuse me, and all is quiet across the Mirage as we wait for hell to rain down on one of these bomb sites. See Spikes doing a little jump peek here. Molly in hand. Execute comes in at A, and these players are stalled. Leaky struggling to get out of that palace after he's been Molotov'd off. His teammates are not waiting for him, and maybe they should have, because mid gets slaughtered. A main does manage to take the bomb site, and they find themselves in a 2 versus 3. Leaky and Affinity versus Spikes, Disc, and Panic. So, Leaky, excuse me, manages to pick up that op and finds himself a nice little kill. The GOTV is lagging, but oh god, that spam kill. Oh, Catman is so low. Very, very well played from both of these players here. And Skyfire earns themselves the first round of overtime. So that was a convincing win. They had some troubles in mid, but that bomb site execute and retake were both, not retake, excuse me, hold, were very well done. The Catmen do come away with a full buy here. However, there's some key smokes missing. They do pull out the double op still, but their eco is getting a little rough because of it. And if they lose this round, they might be in trouble for the 3rd round of this overtime. Heck, even if they win, if they have only 1 or none survive, their eco could be royally screwed going into the last round. So, not the best scenario for Catman to find themselves in. However, sometimes none of that stuff ends up mattering because one team just absolutely destroys the other team. So, we do see Leaky collect the bomb as he begins to make his way towards that B bomb site. A couple players top mid, 1 underpass as they begin to group up towards this B hit. Affinity is just chilling. He's trying to find a pick here on this bomb site, and Spikes is trying to hold with his teammates here. Gumpton's turn to check ladder room. He does, but he doesn't check it convincingly enough, and he will be punished for walking up there. Oh, Affinity blinded, barely misses the shot. Tries to trade one back, but his teammate manages to grab it before his shot hits. And again, somehow it's a 2v2. As these terrorists do manage to trade back these kills. Leaky is low, but when he's got that op, that doesn't really matter. Although if he peeks out at the wrong time here, it very well could matter. Oh, that timing on that cross. Leaky manages to escape with his life, and he actually finds himself in a very good position. Don't let the GOTV fool you. That bomb was planted a long time ago. Leaky finds himself a nice kill, and now he's in a 1v1. That clock is ticking low. Hits the shot. It's too easy for him. Leaky picks up an ace to win that round for his team, and what a crucial round it was. Look at the situation now. 3rd round of overtime. The Catmen are royally boned, to put it mildly. They've got 1 rifle, 3 SMGs, and a scout, and not as much utility as they'd probably like. They got almost everything they need, but they're lacking any Molotovs at all to stop any rushes. And rush, it looks like Skyfire very well could be doing as they make their way forcefully up Catwalk and towards B. Look at this. Everything's all smoked off. The CTs are very low on flashbangs to use. This GOTV is really making this difficult, but we can see the CT's actually doing an excellent job of shutting down this rush. Gumpton trying to pull it back with Affinity. Or, I'm sorry, Lotto, as they find themselves in a 2 versus 3, but that flank and apps makes it too difficult. And well played from Catman for bringing us back. I did not expect them to take this round. They are They're all moonwalking as I wait for the GOTV to catch up, and yeah. So the round was over by the time it caught back up, but nothing too crazy happened. Catmen did manage to win that round as we expected them to. And okay, so we're gonna stay live here, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to connect to a different GOTV that will hopefully work better. So we'll give it a shot. Huh. All right. So far this looks improved. Everything's running smoothly, but we're not really going to know for sure until we get some rounds under our belt here on this server. This does look a lot smoother, though. I'm seeing a lot of improvements already. Hopefully it will stay that way. What a close game. Again, this is pretty cool to see. Let's see if Skyfire can close it out in overtime again. They did it once. They're doing it twice, maybe. Will they do it a third time? Who the heck knows? But right now, I know that if I had bet on these teams going into overtime, I would be a very wealthy man. Oh god, we're getting a lot of server lag again as this round kicks off. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Affinity creeping towards apps here, trying to hold that pixel angle. He's gonna peek too far. Oh, catches the shoulder, tries to catch the shoulder of Panic, but doesn't quite connect. I think Panic probably saw his barrel. However, ultimately he couldn't connect either, and both of those operas escape by the skin of their whiskers. It's Catman's turn to poke, Beal, prod this this defense, and although they don't have any pressure in mid, you wouldn't know it to look at the positioning of the CTs. They have given up that mid control, and they feel split now. They don't really need to. Oh, MT walks a little too far up, gets taken off guard by an angle he's not expecting an A ramp, and is punished for it as Disc finds an opening into this round. And he's hungry. He wants more. He's holding these angles. A flash comes through for the CTs, but it's not very effective. And although... Oh, Disc tries to find the head, but he's not going to connect. Amali forces him out into the open, but his teammates do all the work. He doesn't have to do anything. And this round is looking like it's all but done. We see Affinity does pick up one. That's the bomb carrier. Ooh, this could get interesting. The T's don't have any smokes to cover that connector. If Affinity... he couldn't connect any more shots, unfortunately. Affinity had a real chance to bring this round back there. That would have been cool to see. Was not meant to be. Gumpton tries a desperate spam, but to no avail. He lies lifeless on the floor with the rest of his friends as Catman pick up their 17th round of the game. Look at, so interesting to note here, Catmen are very consistent. They're between 18 and 28 kills, whereas there's almost a 20 kill spread between Skyfire. You see 16 on Skylotto, who started out playing very well, and 36 on Leaky. So Skyfire really needs to, or Skylotto really needs to chime in here if these guys want to close out this game. I believe he started out with like 9 kills in the first 4 rounds. So to see him falling off like this is a little disappointing. He hasn't had much of an impact in the last half of this game. Although that might change as he maybe should have held his crosshair a bit longer. However, ultimately, I guess that's not going to matter as a kill chimes in on the other side of the map. And the CTs find themselves in a 5 versus 4. It's quiet. Too quiet. The terrorists slowly creep their way into mid. Leaky manages to pick one off on Catwalk, an excellent shot. Spikes, barely alive, boosts his friend into window. And And these terrorists, all they can really do is just hope that Disc is going to make a play. They've got him in a position that people might not expect, and he's got to work with it. They're counting on him, and he is not going to deliver. Disc goes down, Affinity's ready for it, and both these terrorists sandwiched towards jungle, slowly being picked off one by one as they desperately try to find a way into the round, but it's not going to happen. And Gumpton finishes off that round to bring Skyfire to match point. So now here we are. Catman have one more chance to bring this in double overtime, and if they don't succeed, it's over. You're done and dusted. Go home. See you later. Nice try. There is tomorrow's qualifier. So what I meant by that, of course, is go home, get some good rest, because you're going to need it for tomorrow. But today is not tomorrow, hence why they need to go home. Or to their hotels, or wherever the heck they are. But enough of that, because we are in what's shaping up to be the last round of this game, as Affinity finds an excellent pick. He's one of those players who has been performing. Like, his stat line isn't that good, 24 and 19, but 145 ADR. He has been putting in work that is not necessarily always going noticed. By far the highest ADR on the team, and likely in the server. I take that back. Spikes has got 153. He's been performing very well. As this desperate last attempt to take a bomb site comes in here for Catman, they find themselves in a 4v3 take with two CTs close behind. Spikes is going to pick off one, but he's quickly traded back. Oh, MT had a perfect chance there to close that game out, but it's not going to happen. And unfortunately for the CTs, this is looking like double overtime. Although, oh, see, there's a scenario there where Disc misses that shot, and he knows where the last player is, so he could potentially clutch that. That would have been cool to watch. He knew where two players were after he got that kill connector, or after that kill sandwich, excuse me. And that could have been a nice little 1v3 to finish out the game. But it's not meant to be, and we find ourselves facing the second overtime of the night. Huh. So, the double op setup is coming out again. Affinity and Lotto doing their best to close this game out here and now with the rest of their team. Second overtime has started, and the T's are not messing around. They're going straight into a B hit. Looks like a B rush. These guys are running. They're rushing. They got their dicks out, and they are just going for it. And maybe they shouldn't have been quite so hasty with those dicks, because they are struggling to get a hold of this bomb site. Some nice off shots coming in from Sky Lotto. I said he needed to chime in, and he has been, but it might not be enough because Leaky missed a shot, and now the CTs find themselves in a 2 versus 2. Although that flank from Gumpton was not expected at all, and he didn't have to peek there. They find themselves in a 1 versus 1. Just didn't expect the angle, and nice hold from the CTs. Overall, it was a little shaky, a couple of missed shots, but at the end of the day, it was enough to get the job done. And Leaky picks up his 40th kill of the game. More than double several of his teammates, and I'm not exactly sure why that nade was thrown. I suppose MT wanted to pick up a different grenade.
Let's slide.
Like another flashbang. Flashing his teammates out into mid. Affinity, I should have noticed that. It's hard to do all this at once. Manages to push forward into A ramp, excuse me, and find a pick with an op. If that's not a ballsy, aggressive map dominance assertion move, I don't know what is. You know, it's one thing to get aggressive and have teammates pop flash you into A ramp, but just to walk into A ramp with an op yourself and just kill someone, that is quite the move. So I would imagine, based off of the voice comms I heard earlier, Catman might be a little tilted right now. And we'll see if that mind game has any impact on the game. We'll probably never know for sure, but we'll see how the take goes, that's for sure, as Catmen seem determined to be taking this A-bomb site. There's one lone anchor over here at B for the CTs in Sky Lotto, but the rest of them are all ready to assist here. This is going to be a hard take for the terrorists. They do have smokes, but they're mollied, they're delayed. A nice flash isolates the bomb carrier, and oh, that was looking so good for both teams for a second. It was looking good for the CTs, and then a few nice trades coming in for the Catmen brought it back, but then a few nice rings brought it back again, and all these players are solo, but ultimately it's a 2v1. The CTs know now that Kibstar faked that bomb plant, and this is over. Kib can't win this. Yep, nope. Skyfire find their 20th. So the magic number we're looking for here, guys, is 22. If Skyfire get 22 rounds, it's over. It's GG. Good night. See you tomorrow. For Catmen, at least. Obviously, Skyfire are going to be moving on to finish these qualifiers if they win. But as it stands now, that if is looking pretty fat and juicy. I'm still not seeing... I still like to see more from Skylotto. He's been chiming in a couple times. You see that round on B-side earlier, he had 2 nice kills to secure his team that round. But it looks like we're not going to get that chance right now because the T's are grouping up towards A again. However, that being said, Lotto is pushing up towards Catwalk, so he could be one of the first rotating responders on the scene. Are getting some lag from the GeoTV viewer here as the X2 comes in. However, these CTs are playing the retake game, it looks like. It's an interesting smoke. And it still leaves a gap. This is... one thing I would like to see from these teams is a bit more of a polished utility game. They have nice flashbangs, but the smoke bombs so far have left some left some things to be desired here. A little bit sloppy. Ooh. MT gets caught with a nade out. His teammate falls. Gumpton chimes in with 1. A small consolation prize as Affinity desperately tries to make something connect. But it's not going to happen. And the first half of this second overtime ends 20-19. Still a favorable position for Skyfire. Oh. As, so... whoever wins this double, whoever finally manages to win this double overtime, triple overtime, who the heck knows, is going to be playing MC in the semi-final/final of this qualifier. And that should be an interesting match to watch as well. Looks like the match is going to be paused for a bit here. So we're going to have a moment to talk about some things. This has been a very close game again. It's been long, but a lot of back and forth. Both teams have been wrestling really hard for this. It'll be interesting to see which team finally manages to come out on top. We do see the double op setup again coming in for the Catmen. Look at how much more consistent the Catmen have been in their kills. We got 3 players virtually tied for kills at 30, 2 at 21, and then again we're seeing 18 to 20 to 41. We see 2 players on Skyfire who are 18 and 19, and Leaky at 41, just putting in so much work. That's a more than 20 kill difference between those players. That is staggering. That's an entire game's worth of kills between those two. See the T's lining up their ARAM smokes here as the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, comes into play here. Tried and true A-site smokes work. They know they work, but if you push out before they pop, it doesn't matter if they work because the enemy team's still going to see you and they're still going to shoot you. And Affinity found that out the hard way. in that A ramp. However, that being said, Lotto chimes back in with one of his own. The T's do make it a 3v4 shortly after a 2v4, as they do manage to take the bomb site. A couple of nice kills managed to make this a 1v2. Ooh, Lotto is low, banged by that op to within an inch of his health bar, and a nade barrage followed by an AK spam to finish it off. Means this game is all tied up, and a third overtime is starting to look even more plausible. It'd be kind of cool if we had like a game run through like 8 overtimes, and one of the first games I ever casted became like a meme for Counter-Strike for years to come of one of the longest running games ever, and then that'd be kind of neat. But obviously we're still a long way off that point. So we'll see, because this is my first time, and I hope I'm doing a good job. We're trying. We're out here having fun, making gains, making waves, and taking names. So kind of like both of these teams are trying to take their own names and propel them into the semifinals, but only one of the teams will be able to do that. So all's quiet across the map once more, as both teams are pretty much waiting for something to happen. We don't see a lot of peeking, a lot of aggression from either sides, as they're both happy to sit back and wait. Hope someone missteps, and yeah, there's still a minute left in the clock, so something's going to happen fairly soon. Skylotto peeks just a little bit too far into that apartment, and he is going to go ahead and get nailed by an op. I'm not sure if he was legged or wallbanged. Either way, he was lucky to escape with his life, as he gets chunked down to just 17 HP. The terrorists have made some strides here in mid, managing to take over that connector area. It's one thing I want to talk about that I haven't yet. That bench that got added in the middle of Mirage by that window area is so dangerous, because someone can self-boost into that window now. That makes holding mid so much more difficult from the perspective of a CT. But still seems manageable, as these Ts are struggling to break into this A-bomb site. MT tapping, trying to find that head. It's not going to happen. Meanwhile, Leaky continuing to put in work as he tries to carry his team, but it's not going to be enough, because Gumpton is left top mid as time expires. And it looks like he might be AFK, crashed. Yep, there's a disconnect from the server. That's going to be a timeout call. And that's unfortunate, because that's a round you don't want someone to crash in. You know, if Gumpton was available on that bomb site, that could have made all the difference. You never know. Might not have. Probably wouldn't have, honestly. But it might have. You never know. So, we're paused now as we wait for that lost little soul to find his way back to the map. Drifting through the ether that is the internet, as he tries to reestablish his connection to the server. Once again, I can't help but notice how consistent these players have been on Catman. We got 3 players who are still within a frag of each other, and another who, like, 2 others who are just flat out tied. The kill gap is substantial, 23 and 23, to the next closest being the 231 killers. But that's still that there's such a nice synchronization there. Okay, Gumpton has rejoined the server. We got him back. We got him, boys. Time will tell if that makes a difference. Skyfire do find themselves under pressure, as Catman are fighting tooth and nail to take this game over. Freeze time pause has been cancelled, and the match is back underway. Unfortunately for Gumpton, his money is not good, and neither are his prospects in this round as he's forced to force up a MAC-10. Sky's leading the way. Oh, geez, they're rushing. They're in the A bomb site before you can blink. An MT, quick to fall, traded out by his teammate. Affinity chimes in with one more, and this A bomb site should be locked. But once again, there's no CT smoke, and that should be the problem. But luckily they were ready for it. A nice flash into CT means they took control of it. But they had no idea this Opera was so close. They have no idea the CT is so close. I said that. They must have heard him, because they did have an idea. As Leaky finds his head and force a triple overtime. So this is gonna be interesting. How many overtimes are we gonna get? Hopefully not too many more, because otherwise it's going to be a long night. As much as I love this and enjoy casting, multiple games in a row with overtimes can get pretty long. Not only for the casters, but more obviously for the players. These guys have been probably playing CS all day in the form of training, practicing, getting ready, going over film. Like these guys, VODs, these guys have been grinding, I have no doubt. And it's going to start to show as that wear comes on. Like, I'm not going to give them too much crap for missed smokes and stuff. I'm going to give them some. But ultimately, it's understandable if they're feeling fatigued, tired. It'll happen. And they still got one more game after this, whichever team wins. So, good luck to them. But regardless, we're still in this one. So, let's talk about that. Third overtime is officially underway here. Spikes lines up a smoke. That's interesting. I'm not really sure where that lands. I'm guessing that's a cat / top mids. Oh no! Oh, it looked like it landed towards A. No, that was a T smoke towards A. As the T's just rush out A. I probably should have been spectating them. Yeah, they took the site again fairly convincingly. 4v3 here as Sky looked to regain control of these overtimes. Maybe for the last time. Lotto gets flushed out with that Molotov, and Spikes capitalizes on it with a quick kill. Still a 3v3 though, and Spikes is low as the T's move to defend this bomb site. Affinity is tucked into this position here at Firebox. Oh, I'm sorry, not Firebox. Oh, he's in a great position to deny its bomb defuse. Oh! Very well played by him. Unfortunately, there's time to defuse, so Skyfire aren't quite going to win that round. But an excellent effort, nonetheless. They didn't have great afterplants. They did words, excuse me. They did the best they could do with what they had to work with, and the bomb plant is useful because if they keep getting bomb plants, that means that they're not going to have to worry about their economy. Whereas otherwise, if they don't, they could potentially run into a money problem in the last round of the half. So Spikes is going to again throw a smoke, and I would like to find out where that lands. Looks like it's that cat smoke, because I don't imagine the T's threw that themselves, although they might have. The T's just burst onto the A-bomb site, no utility, no nothing, and find themselves 2 kills for it. Lotto chiming in a big way when his team needs him. Stepping up to get those frags. And a nice little flash assist to boot. And these CTs are in a tough spot. Disc is low, and Panic is not low, but not in a position to do anything about this round, as a save call has undoubtedly come in. So, these T's are doing everything they can. They sure like that A-bomb site. Both teams have been so far this game. It's interesting to me that, unfortunately, this got hunted down. Panic is also getting hunted, but it looks like he shouldn't have too much trouble saving this op. Unless, on the other hand, he doesn't check behind him, which he does. Ooh, he's gonna get away with that. Just barely. Probably shouldn't have. 48 kills on Leaky. That man just keeps fragging. And the rest of his team is nowhere near. They need to catch up. They need to do something. He's saying, guys, give me a little bit of help here. I'm playing my heart out here. I'm leaving it all here, but I need something for you guys. 48 kills, 13 assists, and I think his ADR is much higher than 100, but I'm pretty sure it's just for this overtime. So, yeah. The T's are wasting no time pushing towards this B bomb site. It's going to be a quick rush, and Lotto manages to chime in on a trade, but the trades are slow, and the T's are in a bit of a tough spot as they try to secure this bomb site. Gets surprised by the op, and Lotto manages to trade it back. He finds himself in a 1 versus 2. Very winnable, and I like his positioning here. He's got a good chance of killing these guys. Catches the first one. Not quite ready for the second. Unfortunately, Snow is going to be able to pull this back, and what? We are gonna go infinitely. Overtime's never gonna end. This is gonna be playing until hell freezes over, because these teams are just not gonna lose. They're not gonna lose. And this tournament will never end. So I will be casting for eternity. And you guys are all stuck. You're watching for eternity. You can't leave. Try closing the stream. I dare you. It's not going to close. Your computer's going to keep it open. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. But of course, everything I said was a joke. However, that being said, this game is turning into a very long one as these teams find themselves in yet another overtime. We are getting into the 46th round of this game, which is, at this point, not quite as many kills as Leaky has, because this man has been fragging out consistently throughout this game, performing when his team needs it and when they don't. But Lotto, meanwhile, has got himself tucked into a nice little corner towards B, and he might have a very important role. That's where that smoke must land, I'm guessing. The first one earlier in the round. It probably lands there in D-Baps. Stop that rush. But looks like the T's are going to be moving away from this, which is unfortunate for the CTs because they're kind of leaning towards this bomb site. The two B players have a very long rotate to get back to A. And it's going to, much of this is going to fall on the shoulders of Leaky and MT to hold this bomb site. Smokes rain in, flashes rain in, and all hell breaks loose as players try to kill each other, and nothing much is connecting, except now it is, and the CTs are destroying them as MK chimes in for 2. Empty, I'm sorry. Leaky gets 1 before he's traded out, and at the end of the day, the CTs find themselves in a 3v2. Bomb is probably going to go down, sure, but not planted. Down on the ground hard because the terrorists are killed and this round is over. Skyfire ties it back up 23-all. And God forbid we see a 4th overtime. But that's still a long way off. This overtime's early yet. Skyfire could win it out. Catman could win it out. Sky Lotto is getting hyped, and he's got good reason to be. Because his teammate Leaky just hit 50 frags in the server. I like saying Sky Lotto even though I pronounce the rest of them just without the Sky in front of their names because it kind of sounds like a type of coffee. It's like, yeah, could I order a Sky Lotto, please? Oh. Lotto makes an interesting decision there and almost gets punished hard for it, but ultimately manages to get away without too much of a trouble there. And And as I'm watching that, I'm struggling to notice that there's a lot of shit happening on the rest of the map, and the A-bomb site is gone. The terrorists have taken it, and the CTs find themselves in a bit of a desperate 2v4. Skylotto eats a nade, and let's see if he can kill someone with his own gun. Oh, the spam almost connects under Palace as Skylotto. Oh! Tries to... steals that from the nade. That was almost a Kobe moment. These guys... Oh! Gumpton picks up the frag, but they're not expecting CT. Gumpton doesn't manage to trade it. Oh no. He's sticking the... Yeah, no, that was a difficult situation to be in, to be sure, but... Skyfire find themselves down around again, and the magic number here, I believe, is 26. So 25 is going to be forcing yet another overtime, and if one of these teams reaches the golden 26, we will see an end to this game. No, this is round number 48. So, Gumpton almost has a chance to kill someone there. That flash and underpass, but it's not meant to be. The trade goes back the other way, though. Lado does manage to find someone through that pixel crack. Affinity chimes in with one of his own through mid. And these rounds just keep rubber banding back and forth, one after the other.
I fucking knew, like, that guy's gonna push BS because the unders. Oh, so annoying.
So, there's a little bit of salt coming through here from the Catman once again. He apparently knew that Lado would be pushing through apps, yet he still got caught by it. So, unfortunate situation to find himself in. But, unfortunately for Skyfire, that doesn't matter because the T's will ultimately find themselves in a 2 versus 1 after all the dust is settled. Make that what should have been a 1 versus 1. Lotto finds one. He's got to come up big for his team here. Okay. This is the round that proves Lotto's worth. And he shines brighter than a star. The North Star. One of the other stars that's brighter than a North Star. And we're all tied up again, guys. So here we are. Lotto chimes in with his 30th kill of the game and steps up in the server in a big way. I didn't yawn, you yawned. Shut up. Yeah. While we're waiting for some more overtimes to happen here. The real qualifiers are brought to you by Intel and Game Fuel. So that's something. That's pretty cool, right? Game Fuel's nice. I actually just got my esports program at college. I don't know if I should probably be saying this, but we actually got a Game Fuel sponsorship. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if it's technically a sponsorship, but they're sending us free Mountain Dew. So that's a win in my book. We're getting back into this X whatever overtime this is. I think it's still the third, fourth. One of the... It's still single digits at least, but who knows for how much longer at this rate. Anyway, the CTs are very aggressive ramp. Managing to scrape together a couple of kills. They're quickly traded back, and these terrorists are closing in on this A-bomb site. I don't know if they're not going to expect Skylotto here. He could be in a great position to make something happen, but those damn smokes are going to make it difficult. 2 versus 3 here as these CTs try to stay in this round. Almost is gifted a free kill onto the player Tetris. Eventually cleans it up, but takes a lot of damage. Both these remaining terrorists do have health bars, which are not as high as they would like them to be. So, that was an interesting decision to stick with so much time left. I don't think that was a good idea. Affinity can do a lot, but he can't quite finish out that round, and Panic is going to just barely escape with his life. Not because he outran the bomb, but because he out-timed the bomb. And Catmen, if I'm not mistaken, are 1 round away from ending this game. However, if Skyfire win this round, we will see ourselves with an overtime number 5. Which is getting up there. So, I almost want to say, let's go for it. I want to see it. I want to see 10 overtimes. Show me 15 overtimes. I'm ready for the grind. I got nothing going on tomorrow. I'll be here for it. And doesn't look promising as looks a little bit more promising now as Leaky manages to take 2 more kills and bring it back into a 3v3. Affinity trying to make something work here as the A-bomb site is lost. Ooh, this is getting interesting. Panic is found. Spam coming through. Affinity and Lotto are trying to make something work, but it's getting hot physically and emotionally as Affinity dodges these mollies and is doing whatever he can to keep his team in this round and in this game. This is looking worse and worse for... Am I crazy? They're saving. I must have miscounted something. I thought this was the end of the end, but I must have missed something here because these players are opting to save in what I thought would be the last round of the game. Let me do some quick math here. 15. So it's 4 to win each, right? So 19 is the magic number for that. If you get to 19, then the next magic number is 23. Yeah, it's 27. Excuse me. Okay, so Skyfire have got to win 2 more rounds. 1 more, or Catman's got to win 1 more to close it out. Skyfire's got to win 2 to tie and force another overtime. Okay. I got it. The thing that's tripping me up is it says it's round 3 of the overtime, which doesn't line up with the stats, I don't think, because that would mean that round 5 would be the 26-26, which is typically around, like, that's the final round, but yeah, one of the, we're going to keep casting until one of these teams wins. So at the end of the day, I think the number is 27. It could be 28. It could be 300 million. Only time will tell. And these T's are determined to make that time tell sooner rather than later as they burst onto this A-bomb site yet again. And these CTs are getting picked off 1 by 1. Affinity manages to find 1. It's all on him and Skylotto. Skylotto makes a very ballsy play through the smoke and is almost handsomely rewarded for it. If he found that second frag, that would have made all the difference, but he didn't. And Affinity died, and yeah, so it's 28. That was the first half of the 4th overtime. And now we've got 3 rounds for Sky to answer. They've got to win all 3 to force another overtime, and if they don't, it's game over. So the magic number is 28, and the Catmen are 1 round away. Huh. $10,000, 10,000 Doges, 10,000 Geralts of Rivia, and 10,000 frags at this rate, because we know Catman are still 3 rounds up, and they're probably going to close out this game statistically, but we also know that Skyfire haven't gone down without a fight, and they will continue fighting, and their T side has looked pretty solid overall. I wouldn't be surprised to see them pull back 3, which I'm not necessarily happy to say that, but it's certainly not outside the realms of possibility at this point. I would never count them out until the final kills have been tallied. We'll see what happens as the T's do begin to shift towards that A ramp yet again. I would love to see something other than just a straight A execute with a little bit of mid presence, but I don't think we're going to get it. At least not this round, anyway. Wow. Through the fire, through the smoke, through the flames they go. Affinity, in Affinity's case, not quite all the way through as he continues to burn. That plant is obtained, and just barely he manages to escape that op. And not only escape it, but eventually kill it. He was not expecting the player to be ticket, but at the end of the day, that's the only consolation prize that Catmen are going to find, because Skyfire are going to pick up that round almost flawlessly. Those are very high kill numbers on all of those players. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. These T's are swarming the B bomb site, and they met some resistance, but nothing too rough. Gumpton chiming in with a few frags. Oh, this is a 2 versus 2, and both these players are treacherously low. Kibstar bursts through the flames, but Lotto burns one of them. Kibstar's dinked, and oh my god. Oh, they almost lined up for him. Oh my god, that would have been it, but no. Skyfire managed to find the kill, and they managed to pull it back. One more round if we're going to another overtime. And if there was a round for Skyfire to win, it would be this one, because the buy from Catman is lackluster to say the least. A Deagle and a UMP are whipped out. All right. Skyfire is grouping up towards A, but a pick in mid is going to make that more complicated. Affinity's trying to poke his B-bomb site, but he's not having much luck. Oh, this could be it. Snow finds Gumpton over on the A palace. It looks like the bomb will be planted by Lotto, but the T's find themselves in a 3v4, and that rotate is a long way away. Lotto makes a dangerous transition to triple box. It manages to get the CT after being spammed a little bit, and winnable round for the T's to be sure, but also winnable for the CTs. This could be it. This could be the end of the overtimes. That being said, the fat lady hasn't sung yet. Oh, the timing on Lotto. Leaky finds one. It's all on Leaky. Stuck firebox. It's over. It's over. I shouldn't sound so excited. It's over. But Catman. The Catmen are very excited, and excited they should be. A very well-deserved victory. And, yeah, Skyfire fought hard, but not hard enough, apparently. All right. I think we're gonna go to a quick break here while we grab some water and try to recuperate a bit before we head to our next game. Thank you guys for listening. Again, my name is Aaron, and this is CappingTV.